Good evening, everyone. I'm Prashant Mahalingam from Dr.Reddy's, and it's my privilege to be the host for today's session titled Seva Dil Se. At the outset, we'd like to thank all the healthcare professionals joining us here today in this event for their incredible and brave efforts fighting COVID on the front lines. At Dr. Reddy's, we believe good health can't wait. And beyond our efforts to support the nation with uninterrupted supply of medicines and new medicines which can help find this pandemic, we have also recognized that this is a time for inspiration and for building resilience amongst all of us. In this regard, we've been hosting a series of interactive dialogues with inspiring personalities and healthcare professionals for learning, a bit of reflection about what are the leadership values and behaviors and actions which can help us get through this current time. These are truly unprecedented times and definitely the most challenging than most of us would have seen. However, there have been inspiring leaders, inspiring lights who have shown hope for millions during these dark times uh, and truly shown lit up the world for them. Today's guest is truly one such person whom I have been personally inspired by. In the last 10 months, Sonu Sood has emerged as a beacon of hope for thousands of people. In his selfless service, Sonu has impacted thousands of migrants, helping them find their way home across India and sometimes even from beyond India, from as far as Kyrgyzstan and Kazakhstan, to bring them back here. In addition, he's launched platforms to find jobs for displaced migrants, connected healthcare professionals to needy patients through his Illage India initiative, and then a whole plethora of acts of kindness, which has truly been inspiring the more that I've read. For the service and impact Sonu has had, Sonu has been recipient of the UNDP's SDG Action Award for humanitarian work during COVID-19 and the week's Man of the Year. But beyond all these titles, I think Sonu has become a living legend in the hearts of many people who he has touched and who have been impacted by his work. It's truly an honor to present to you Sonu Sood, our guest for today. Welcome, Sonu, to this session.
Thank you so much, Prashant, for all the kind words, and thank you so much.
So I want to start with you. While many people are aware of your work, I would like to take you back to one moment, and I'm bringing up a picture which you may recognize, which you describe in your book, the I Am No Messiah, as your Kalinga moment, um, um, which changed your life and which really. So I want you to kind of reflect on that moment, which you call as your Bodhi tree, and really share what happened at this moment, which kind of started your journey.
Yeah, of course, Prashant. So this is one image that I think it haunted every single citizen of this country. And I remember when I was distributing food and fruits to all the people across Mumbai. So I saw these sea of people, migrants who wanted to go back to their homes and with little kids. But the only thing that haunted me was that I never wanted these kids to grow up with memories of their parents asking them to walk hundreds and thousands of kilometers. And imagine when they'll grow up with those memories where a father or a mother would be lying to a little 10-year-old, 7-year-old that, our house is just half an hour from here, but they're going to make them walk for a month. So I knew that it's not the time that we are going to sit at our homes, bake our cakes, or get those selfies done and crib about the whole system that why there's no one to help them. But I think I should at least try if I can bring any change in their life. So this is how the whole journey started. Met these bunch of people who wanted to go to Karnataka, almost 350 of them, and I promised that just give me a day and I'll get all this permission sorted. Had to use my good offices, and finally I got a permission, which was a very, very tedious job. But once I got those permissions and I boarded all these 350 people in those 10 buses, the glitter in their eyes, the smile on their faces conveyed, boss, this is now your mission. You have to make sure that every migrant should reach back to their home safely. And from there it started, and then I left no stone until the last one reached back to their home.
Okay, and you didn't stop. Obviously, with 350, it went to thousands and beyond with the number of initiatives that you took from there. Um, so I wanted to spend a little bit time on, over not just this 350, but as you moved more people across many more states, first with buses and then with trains, and then eventually with, flying some of these people back. Um, how did you, how did you manage the complexity, and what worked? What were some of the key things that helped you manage? I don't know the final count of numbers, Sonu. If you have it, that'll be great. I mean, I was honestly trying to find it out, but each one of them had its own challenges, and it'll be good for you to talk about some of those challenges or specific examples of how you dealt with the complexity that you had to face.
Shanti, I was not trained to send them back to their homes. I never knew what the guidelines needed me to do it. But the only thing that I had was a zeal, and I had a mission to accomplish. There were almost close to 7.5 lakh people who got connected with us through different sources. And we knew it's a mission that's not going to uh, be a very easy one, because we never knew a single soul in those different states. It's not about an individual going to a UP or a Bihar or Uttarakhand. So the district they belong to, we have to take every single. If we have a Ram Lakhan in Mumbai, so in Palghar, Vasai, or Nalaspar, all these areas, from that area we need to get the permission for them to travel, their medical tests done, their COVID tests done, and to the place where they're going, the permission from the DM, local authorities, so that they let them enter that state, which was not happening. So, and everyone was busy. There's a lot of chaos that was happening in all this office system. So, no one was ready to give that time and guarantee whether they'll be able to send them. And if you have 6.5, 7 lakh people counting on you to send them back to their homes, so it was a tedious job. All thanks to, I don't know, the wishes and prayers of all these migrants who gave me that courage, who gave me that zeal to send them back to their homes. And I was able to, send them back to their homes by trains, by buses, by flights also. And that I was the first one who operated that first flight that flew from Ernakulam to Bhubaneswar with 180 girls who were stuck in a stitching factory in Ernakulam. And 3:30 in the night, I got them from Ernakulam to Cochin, and the flight flew to Bhubaneswar, and they were sent to Kendrapada, that place. So yeah, it was a huge challenge. I don't know how I did it. Now, if I look back, I still feel it's one of the biggest challenge that I had to face every single day. It was not about one airlift. It was airlift that was happening every day from countries like Kyrgyzstan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Georgia, Russia, Philippines. Speaking to their ambassadors, embassies, local people, and I don't know. It was a mission that somewhere the wishes made it happen.
Okay. And you mentioned every one of them had a COVID test done before they got onto their bus or train.
It was a challenge. I never got an opportunity to get my test done.
Wow.
I knew that COVID tests and how these people, you don't know them. You don't know whether how to convince them that you can get them travel. If you're trying to convince them, okay, they said, "Nee, sir, Corona, it's not possible. How are you going to send it?" But in 2 to 3 days, the message went across the nation that okay, Sonu Sood can send back to the home. So the trust factor came. But so doctors were a huge help. I remember when the first opportunity I got to speak to a doctor in Andheri, I said, I have to get this test done of 500 people. He said, 500? Yes, sir. I said, 500 because I'm sending that back to their natives. He said, how can you send them back? So I said, sir, just give me a chance and make this happen. In those, days, we got those tests done and those people were travel. And then all the doctors were a huge help. I was calling them day and night, sir, in Vadala, in Sir Nala Subara, please get those tests done. And then, it was non-stop. And I believe that, if everyone knows, everyone will vouch that, doctors were the real warriors who made everything possible, who was, I would say, the breathing force for every individual in the country. And I think they were a huge help to me also.
And so, Sonu, I don't know whether you were counting, but at last count or whatever you know, how many people actually moved back to their homes? Do you have a count
Yeah,
of how many people?
so I think we could manage 100 and 1,26,000 people,
Wow.
uh, and they were not they all from Jammu Kashmir to Kanyakumari. I got to know about new districts, the new areas, and what all I think I remember when a train goes from one place to other, the official count number was 1,150 to get a permission, and 1,680 people used to board on a train. And when you reach with those 1,600 people, there are 4,000 people actually
People.
on the railway station, because everyone used to call their friends, "Arey, come, yeah, Sony sending, we'll go." And I never knew even a single soul from all those 680 or 4,000 people. And I used to convince the DRMs, the local TTs, the GRP, the police, everyone said I need to send them back to their homes. And they knew that every single day and night, I was living on the railway stations, bus stops, or airports to send them back to their homes. So everyone was a huge support, I would say, and they knew that I'm doing it genuinely. So things were moving very fast.
That's truly inspiring, Sonu. Truly, truly inspiring.
Thank you.
And I believe you are still in touch with, or some of them are in touch with you. I mean, updating you on how they've kind of progressed from the time they reached homes, their homes.
So everyone, it was
Oh,
not a journey to just send them back to their homes. I remember when first time I had sent these people back to their homes, and these migrants called me for their jobs. They said we don't have an employment. I used to call them, "Boss, when are you going to come back?" They said, "Whenever we'll get the job, we'll come back." And I knew that this is going to be the biggest challenge. So that's why I created that Pravasi Rozgar, where I'll give them jobs. I'm not equipped to give them jobs, but slowly I learned, and I could generate jobs through first 100, then 200, then 1,000, 10,000, and close to 1.5 lakh people we are already given jobs to, and many
wow.
more. Our numbers are multiplying every single day. Connected with a lot of corporates, and yeah, they were very happy that I could connect with them, and change those lives. And when they had a medical problem, if Ram Lakhan was sent to Balia in UP, or Madhubani in Bihar, if the mother had a problem or the wife had a problem, he used to call me because he had my number. And he said, "Sonu sir, my wife, there's a brain tumor that's happening. That's a knee replacement. We not need to do it. This is a back problem and all." So when I started helping them, the word spread across the villages, states, and the whole of country that if we have any medical problem, Sonu Sood is going to be the name. They used to send me, and sir, with all due respect, I've become a 50% doctor seeing those reports. My people, I'm right now sitting at a cafe which I own in Mumbai. There are people standing down with their reports. You said, "Sir, we have a bone marrow transplant, we have a liver transplant, we have a kidney transplant." So I click those pictures, call those doctors, speak to those hospitals, how we can do it. And it's happening, sir. And a lot of people have come across. That's why, that Illage India movement came in, that where I asked, whoever is whoever doctor I'm connected to, or whoever is listening, please at least give me a chance to be a part of your family, where you can give one surgery free of cost in a month at least, all your life, so that we can because I'm connected with thousands and thousands of people, so we'll change lives. So a lot of doctors are now my team. I just pick up phone, say, "Let's make this happen. Come se come cost me, how we can make this happen." And it's multiplying very many folds, every single day.
Yeah, we'll get into Illage India, and there's been a lot of interest, Sonu, from the doctors as we have begun rolling out the invites for this. Just to close off the topic on the Ghar Bejo activity, at any point of time were you worried about contracting COVID because you were out, you were working crazy hours, you were with the public, and it was there anxiety, and how did you deal with it?
So actually, frankly speaking, there was never an anxiety. Only thing I was worried was my family. So I had to come back every single day with my little kids, my wife, and that's the only worry. But I had another flat also in the same building, so I used to sleep sometimes there also, just to make sure that I don't transmit any kind of virus. And I used to miss them a lot. I used to see them playing down or moving around me, but I never got a used to get that courage to hug them the way I used to hug them. So yeah, that worry was there, but I knew that I had a bigger mission. There were a lot of kids, parents who wanted to get reunited with their families. So I thought, this is the time not to think about your family or about yourself, but it's about to get these families reunited. So yeah, no regrets, but I was not scared, but I wanted those families to get reunited.
And let me share another picture. And this time it's similar, but to me it's hugely different when I look at it. So this was flights coming back from Kyrgyzstan or
That's right, sir.
Kazakhstan. I don't know which one it is,
Yeah,
uh, but you can see pictures of people. And I was reading the book. These are students, a lot of them, right, who were stuck in those places. How did you move from domestic migrants and repatriations of people from across the globe? I believe Russia, Georgia, Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Canada, Australia. The list is quite huge. So, I mean, was it one thing led to another, or how did that happen?
so I remember when I was getting all these people, migrant movement was happening in India. So I used to get a message from students from Kyrgyzstan. They were all medical students who were in bad shape, and they used to send those videos of uh, one of the student died in Kyrgyzstan. So they were in very bad shape. They said, "Sir, please make us happen. We want to come back to our families. Otherwise we'll die. There are no proper conditions." So I said, Kyrgyzstan, I would never been to that place. I don't know anyone, so I'm going to get them back to their homes. So I said, let me try. So I messaged one of the student message, and I remember it was around about 9:45 in the night. By 10:30, I must have got 2,000 calls and messages because they had put in that group, this is Sonu Sood's number, and he has just called and he's trying to get us back to the homes. And non-stop, I was getting these calls from random numbers, and I was not picking. I just left a message to them that please convey to everyone that only I want to be connected with only two or three group leaders. You become the group leaders, and I'll guide you how to do it. Because if my phone is going to ring non-stop, how I'm going to get those permissions done? So then I spoke. Next day I spoke to MEA. Then I spoke to ambassadors in Kyrgyzstan. Then I spoke to
Wow.
embassies in Kyrgyzstan. And in 4 days, I was able to get the first lot of 180 students evacuated from there. And from there, 4,500 students were stuck in Kyrgyzstan, which came back from Kyrgyzstan. The word spread to Kazakhstan, and from there to Tajikistan, from Georgia, Philippines, and Russia. So from all the countries, I had to get people evacuated, and finally, which I did.
I mean, I think again, the sheer breadth of the countries and the kind of work that's being done is simply amazing. So moving on to the next section, I think is a topic which is very relevant to the audience today. The doctors were all here, and as I said, we've been receiving quite a bit of queries on what this is. Sonu, I think it'll be good for you to get into a little bit detail on what is Illage India, what triggered you to start this platform, and how has it progressed from the time you set up? Because this has truly been one platform which has interested a lot of doctors, and there's been multiple queries on how can they be a part of it.
Shanti, like I shared, every single individual that is, I got connected with. So whenever they had a medical issue, they used to message me with those reports, and I had no clue whom to connect with. Okay, I had few friends in the medical field, so I used to share with them. They used to connect me with their friends. So we got 4 to 5 people cured and all, and I realized they were so happy. I mean, the whole life changed. So I knew that, this is going to be a very big mission if I get into it. And there's no end to it. A lot of people told me, Sonu, the way you're trying, it's not going to be an easy job because, every individual or an NGO or an organization, they always stick to one. Okay, this organization done only pediatric heart surgeries. This one does only liver transplant. This is only kidney specialist. This is something like this. So I said, these are organizations, but I'm an individual whom the whole country trusts. So they call me every day. They call me, sir, I have a liver transplant. You have to help me. I'm shooting on a set in Hyderabad. People land up on the set and they're waiting with the little kids for the liver transplant surgery. So I can't ignore them because I only do pediatric heart surgeries. We'll find someone else. So I have to help them. Their parents crying in front of me. So I started speaking to a lot of doctors and all, and I was really happy and surprised and so proud that every doctor said, Sonu, we want to be a part of it. the whole thing. Let us know if you can do something or not. And I remember I did a surgery of this young boy, 6-year-old boy, Harshvardhan, in Hyderabad. We did at Apollo Hospitals. Dr. Subramani was there. Dr. Manish Sharma was a liver transplant. So he was there, and all. They were very, they're very happy. They said, "Sonu, let's support," and we saved a life. There's a doctor in Karnal, Dr. Ashmi. He said, "Sonu," he promised, "Okay, Sonu, we'll do 1 or 2 surgeries, send them every month." And now we have done almost 40 to 50 surgeries with them. He calls and says, "Sonu, send as many as," because we feel so happy helping all these people that, okay, we used to do it earlier also, but after connecting with you, it's a different feeling. So there's no number attached to the mission that you're doing. Send as many as people you wanted. We are doing it. They got applauded from every single section of the society throughout the globe. People were calling these doctors. They were sending those messages in Kanal, ki, "Sir, you're doing a great job." And I acknowledge all of them on my social media also. Ki, "Thank you so much, sir, for inspiring." And more people got inspired and they came forward to help. For me, Illage India is not my platform. It's your platform. So all the doctors who are there with me right now, this is your platform. You can be a part of it. You can say, "Sonu, yeah, I'm a ENT specialist. I'm a bone marrow transplant specialist. So just come forward and let's change your life together." And also, I'm 24/7 available. It's in the testing stages. We have completed the whole app or platform or portal, whatever you said. So it's just that be a part of it and let's change your life in whatever best way we can. So I'm glad that the Large India has changed the fortune of millions of people we have connected. At least the hope is there. And I hope that in coming years, we can reach out to more and more people and bring those smiles on their faces.
So, how do doctors who want to, who have reached out and said, "How can I be a part of, the initiatives of Sonu Sood?" How do they connect with you? Is there a website, or is there where they can go and enroll themselves?
So I'll share the website, the email also, where all the doctors can connect. We'll get back to you. We'll make you a part of it, and you also become a part of Illage India, and then whole chain spreads. Then your friends come on board and all. So I'll share the email. I'll share the number. I'll share the concerned people to get connected with, and let's make this Illage India family a stronger family, which can change many more lives.
Right. And you are no more only focusing on pediatrics, as you mentioned. You have expanded it to any patient anywhere in India, any condition.
That's right. That's right. So any patient, like I said, in the morning when I go to my gym, I have to leave at least 45 minutes to 1 hour in advance, because there are people standing with the reports. I get those picture clicked. So I have, if you just on my WhatsApp you put liver, so you'll have this liver transplant, doctor, and patients. If you open kidney, you have a lot of kidney patients. If you open any you name surgery, and you'll have those experts and those needy people. So yeah, it's going on great, sir. And like I said, I'm also learning. I'm sure when all these expert doctors will come on board and be a part of this whole family, they'll also teach me lots that I still need to learn. But I'm ready to learn. I'm ready to be grasp all the knowledge that you can give it to me, and let's make Illage India more stronger, so the needy one can benefit and we can save more lives.
Absolutely. And I think this is a cause close to our hearts as well. And we'll see how to make this partnership even better with the healthcare professionals and with Illage India. So from the initiatives, I also now want to take some time of some specific, I was reading, the I Am No Messiah book, and I came across this. I didn't know it till I had actually read it. I came across this picture, Sonu, and I'm sure you know what I'm talking about once you see this picture.
Yeah.
And the first time I saw it, I was also troubled, and
Hmm.
I couldn't understand what would make such a situation happen. Talk to me about how you felt, and what you did, because it's an act of kindness which I believe just got inspired from one picture, so to speak.
Yeah, this is a very, I would say, a very special picture. Special picture because it had a message. With the farmer name is Nageshwar Rao. He's from a district called Chittoor in Andhra, And I saw this picture, and in fact, the video of this farmer with the two daughters plowing the field with the wife, and I thought, this is not the India we want. We want to give a message where every girl in the house or a boy, they have the right to study, and they should the family should be, I would say in a safe environment. I spoke to Nageshwara in Chittoor. It was around about 9:30 in the evening, and I said, "What do you need?" He said, "I need a pair of oxen if I can get." And it's close to Tirupati from where he belongs. So I said, okay, I'll get you a pair of oxen, don't worry. And what about your village and all? They said, a lot of people, farmers are suffering and they don't have it. So I spoke to a few people who sell oxen also in Tirupati around about quarter to 10 in the night. And then when I slept, I remember around about 10:35, I said, if I give a tractor to this family and the whole village can benefit out of it. So it will be something very, very good. I remember it was a Saturday night. I called them. I said, man, get ready and tell your villagers that tomorrow evening the tractor will be in your fields. So I promised them. And next morning was a Sunday. Severe lockdown across the country with nothing open. But I would say I was able to pull this off. I called Sonalika Tractors, the friends. I said, I want to give the tractor to these people. There's a very close friend of mine, Karan, in Chandigarh. I said, Karan, let's make this happen, and also made all those calls and all, and made sure 4:35 the tractor reached Chittoor. The whole village was, dancing out of joy, and they said, I asked Nageshwar, the farmer, also to make a promise that now on, whoever in the village needs a tractor to plow their field, you have to give it to him. The whole village has to set an example for the whole of India, that one village coming together can change the face of this country. So I think that was a very special episode of my life, and I'm glad that God gave me this opportunity to connect with the whole village.
Fabulous. Um, I'm just sharing what happened, and this was the tractor, I believe, which
That's
they
right.
got.
Yeah,
And another story, Sonu, which I think was this person,
yeah.
and truly inspiring, to and of course, this was the first, or maybe amongst the first set of Sonu Sood teamed multiple things that have happened since then. But talk to us about this lady, and what inspired you to take action.
Um, Aji, we call her Aji. She's based out of Pune, and they call her Warrior Aji. She used to, show some tricks of Latbazi on the streets and earn her living. And, that video came to me, and I said, I mean, we have such talented people in this country, and they are standing across the road showing some tricks for their daily bread. So we connected with her. I said, what if I open a school for you where you can teach all the young girls? I think that will be a great message. She was very happy and excited. She said, is it possible? I said, yes, it is possible. So we got a place for her. We opened a school for her. A lot of students are still getting trained and all. And I spoke to Ajay for a couple of times. He said, it's not about helping you with some money where you'll feel, okay, I got the money from Sonu and we forgot about it. You should earn on your, I'll pay you a salary. You have to teach all these girls free of cost. And she's been teaching a lot of girls, and I'm glad that I'm a part of Warrior Ajit's school in Pune.
Yeah. So obviously, one thing led to, and one thing led to another. And if I were to just show what happened subsequently, Sonu, and again, we've seen welding shops, restaurants, a whole department of arts and humanities, and more recently a temple for you in Telangana. So and the Superman of India, right? I mean, so many pictures,
Mhm.
so many cartoons that are there, and adulations. The Man of the Year, the UNDP award, and I think this one, is something that even I was truly amazed by, which is people naming children after you. So all this adulation and all this, um, love that you get, what does it do to you? I mean, how do you feel when people are putting your name on practically their life and their, their families, their livelihoods?
I just believe that I must have done something right in life, Prashant. I wish my mom and dad were around to see this. Like I always used to say that when I came after I finished my engineering, I came to Mumbai to become an actor. A lot of people said Sonu can't be an actor. This name cannot be an actor. People, what will say? Ki Sonu actor aisa kuch thoda hota. You should change your name. And I remember trying to change my name to an Aryan or Aryaman and all. I tried all that thing also. And but it could never happen. I said, when Sonu Sood can bring you here, Sonu Sood can take you to the mission or to the destiny you belong to. So I couldn't never change that name, and now people naming their kids after my name, or the fast food corners, or opening a temple, or welding workshops. So it only makes me believe that you just have to give back to the society. Goodness, the reach of goodness is immense, infinite. Uh, you just have to keep on doing right, trying to bring a change in a life, and I think that's what your mission should be. And that's what my mission is. I've been getting so many offers from different movies. The scripts are lying. I don't have any time to read, but I try to spend time speaking to those doctors, getting people medically treated, getting them jobs, or something to do with education, also getting scholarships. So I just want to confess that whatever is happening in my life, all thanks to my parents sitting in heavens, must be really pushing Almighty to shower all the blessings on their son. So I think that's what is happening right now.
I'm sure they must be very, very proud of all the great work that you've done, Sonu. But on a lighter note, do you get roles for negative roles at all? It's going to be very difficult to see you as a villain in the movies anymore with all the work that you've done.
Sir, I'm not getting any more negative roles, but all the positive roles, larger than life, superheroes, all these kind of roles that have been offered. The film that I was shooting, they have changed a lot of script. We have reshot a couple of scenes because they said people are not going to accept it. People are going to curse it
Absolutely.
if we are going to show it. So I think this is magical, and I'm enjoying every bit of it. And let's hope it's a new innings and new innings to play. And I promise I'll give my best, and let's hope for the best, sir.
I'm sure. And I really wish you, if its scripts have started changing, Sonu, I'm sure, it's only going to get better. I wanted to, we got a bunch of questions, Sonu, from doctors. So I'm going to actually pick some doctors and some of their questions. Some of them have already been answered. Almost 50% of the questions are about how can I partner with the Illage India or with you to, make a difference in their areas, in their but there were a couple of ones which I thought are very interesting and some which I think you will feel really good about. So two doctors from Moga
Wow.
actually wrote to us, Dr. Narinder Singh Narula and Dr. Tanuj Thapar. One is a pediatrician, the other one is an ENT surgeon. And both of them said, they are so proud of being a son of the town Moga and an alumni of the Sacred Heart School. And both of them have said, given their blessings. And again, their question is, what was the inspiration? What inspired you to help these millions of people?
Yeah, but it's great to connect from someone from my hometown, and that too from my school. I also studied from Sacred Heart School, and I mean, so proud. And I'm sure these both the doctors from Moga must be doing a lot of good to my city needy people also. So please keep the good work going, and make it a movement so that a lot of people should follow your footsteps. But what inspired me, sir, is um, they say when my mom always used to say that the Sonu, consider yourself successful only the day you're able to reach out to someone who has not asked for any help from you. So if you're able to identify a person, and that's a surprise for him, how do you uh, how did you reach out to me? I think that's the day you consider yourself successful. So all thanks to social media, so we are connected to millions. And I'm like I said, if 10 months from now, if someone would have asked me that they want to get them normal a normal checkup done from a doctor, I would say, "Arey, let me find out whom to connect." But now, if you call me from any part of the country, any serious surgery, it needs 10 minutes to make it happen, because um, it gave me confidence. It boosted my energy. The kind of responsibility that came on my shoulder, it gave me that confidence, boss. Just go out, all out, and try to save a life. And then you just have to pick up a phone and call anyone. And most of the doctors tell me, Prashantji, ki Sonu, you speak to every doctor. You check with the patient about, what's happening, sir, kaisa uska, when he's going to recover, what kind of post-op medicines he needs, how many times you need to come to see the thing. How are you getting that time to follow up that thing? I said, sir, I'm giving that time to follow up. That's why you are doing it, sir. If I ignore, then the patient also gets ignored. And I think it is said this is right, actually. When we always used to do great work, we always used to give help to all the needy people. But now we feel more charged, because this is not your job, this is not your field to explore. But seeing you giving 100%, and to the needy ones, it gives us also a chance to be more active. So I think I'm learning, sir, from them. And like I said, my ambition, my aim is to that in someday, in couple of years, if I'm able to make at least 1,000 free beds in this country, I think that's my ambition. And I think all the listeners we have right now on board, they are the ones who can make it happen.
That's actually a great segue, Sonu, to another question from Dr. Shubham Panchal from Ahmedabad. And you spoke about how do you manage? I mean, his question was actually, how do you maintain your fitness during these long, stressful hours? And I mean, all our doctors today, especially on the front lines, have a very taxing regimen with a lot of anxieties, which you spoke about. So, to me, the question is, how do you manage time? How do you manage your balance between work, which is intensive, especially now that you're back shooting, the plethora of initiatives that you have, the multiple requests which each coming in, and you still look as fit as you were many years ago.
Mhm.
So how do you manage the time, energy, work, life, family, and all of these? So that is the reason why people caricature you as a Superman, right?
Thank you, sir. Sir, I made one rule in my life in my college days. Before I thought of becoming an actor, I have only 22 hours in a day. There are not 24 hours. The rest 2 hours are for my fitness. No matter I sleep late, I wake up early, there's no time, I'm traveling 24/7. I have to get those 2 hours for my fitness. I go to the gym regularly. I eat right. There are no cheat days. Even if I don't get time because of my travel, I do 500 push-ups in my room also. I do whatever sit-ups, whatever is available in the room. So those 1.5 2 hours, I make sure that I get out of my system of my 24-hour routine, and I do it. So I've been following it from past 24 years, and I still do today also. So I think to all the listeners, is very very important that make sure you find time for yourself, because if you are fit enough, then only you can help others, or you can spend time with your family. You can do whatever you want. So if you ignore that, I think it's not going to last long. So just stay fit, stay healthy, eat right, and I think that will keep you agile and motivated always.
Right. Another question is from Dr. Vijay Subramaniam from Chennai. The question is, what made you think the other way, in a different direction versus a whole lot of others who chose to stay at home, who chose to be safe? Was it something in your mind? Um, was it some experience of the past? Or was it just the moment? Why did Sonu Sood do something differently versus everyone else? That's at heart the question.
Yeah, Dr. Subramanian, thank you so much. It's a special one. And I would say maybe I was the chosen one to do it. Someone had to do it. And there were a lot of sufferings on the road. People needed one hand. And I'm glad that God chose me, the catalyst, to do something right in life. I knew I had a mission. which had no boundaries. I know I had a mission. I was not trained to enter into one, but I had zeal, I had responsibility, and I took it as my mission. It's not that oh, you're an engineer, you're an actor. This is not your job to come out. I said no, this is my job. I make sure that I will work hard till the last migrant reaches back to his family. So that's what I did, and that's why it was successful. And which was this is the biggest lesson of my life, that it's not important whether you're trained to do a particular job or not. You just need to have that zeal to do it, and it'll happen.
That actually is a very it's this probably answer the question, but this is great. This is from Dr. Priya Luthra, who's a dental surgeon in New Delhi. The question is, uh, how do you find ways to help people every way? I would like to do social service, but unable to find the way. And this was another question that I had in the end, but I'll bring it up forward, which is many people, including a lot of us, feel resources, time, energy is not enough for me to, start doing social service. But in a way, all the work that you've done kind of goes against that principle. So, how do you find ways when you feel that the resources are not there?
So, like I said, uh, again, sorry for sounding repetitive, but you will actually know your real power only when you go out and help someone. Everyone knows, including me. I also used to sail in the same boat only. I don't know where to start from, how to help someone. I want to help everyone. A lot of people speak to me. They said, yeah, we all want to help, but we don't know where to start from. Just take that first step. The world will follow. You everyone knows someone. You just need to make that one phone call and change your life. We think twice of before calling someone. If you now, so why I was successful is I never thought twice calling you. If I knew that, okay, Mr. Prashant can do something for me, I'll just write a message, Mr. Prashant, this is Sonu Sood. I want this to happen, please. Priya Luthra ji, you're based out of Delhi. I'll take your details from Prashant ji and I'll go to text you. Priya ji, what are you doing? What field do you specialize in? And I want to join hands with you, and I'll send you 10 people in a few months, and you see how it happens. That first step is very, very important. When Priya ji will call her colleagues, Arey yaar, Sonu is taking this mission, let's come, let ENT people come, let liver transplant come, let kidney, let hip surgeries, let's get knee replacement surgeries done. Those phone calls will make that network the strongest network in the world. That first step is very, very important, and let's take this first step. Maybe this is the platform where we are going to have many, many more warriors, doctors, rock stars, I would say, who are going to take that first step, and we are going to make a mission that will change the world.
Yeah, and again, you've stolen my next question, Sonu. You speak of, I think we've all spoken of the pandemic and a virus which is spreading, and you talk of a contagion of compassion, humanity, and service spreading. And what you said, in a way, is that first phone call is where people get, so to speak, infected with this love for service, and it spreads. That's, I'm assuming, what you meant when you say the contagion of service and compassion.
Sir, I'll tell you, when I sent a lot of people back to their homes, so a lot of chief ministers of these states called me and they said, Sonu, this is our number. Anything you need, please let us know and all. And I remember in that particular day, there's one patient I got to who was very, very serious, stuck in a hospital in that particular state. And I don't know who to call. Then I said, should I call this chief minister for this? And I never knew who the person was. Someone through it came. And I messaged them around 10:30 in the night. I got a call back. I said, how can I help? I said, sir, this patient is there. And they're saying, the relatives are saying that if you're not able to shift the patient right now, he's going to die. He said, okay, just give me 10 minutes. I'll get this sorted. The patient was shifted. We could save that patient. I haven't spoken to the patient after that ever. And the CM called me back and he said, the best thing that I liked about the thing was you didn't hesitate to call me for someone who you don't know, whom you are not going to meet ever in your life, and we could save that life. So this is what I want every single one from my party to do, this, to go out and help. I would have used that favor for a bigger work also, But I decided, no, I have to save a life. I used to call them. I still do that, sir. Every single day I do it. I call anyone. I'll tell you sometimes, I was in Hyderabad shooting for a film, and I was in a big area where everyone's having dinner on. So a few people came. They had a picture and all. Thank you so much. Had a selfie and all. So I always used to ask, sir, what do you do and all. Okay, I'm an architect. Oh, good, sir. Thank you. All the best. So what do you do? I'm a doctor. Excuse me, sir. What do you specialize in? Sir, okay, sir, I'm a heart transplant. So okay, sir, I'm going to get. Just wait for me. I'm going to. I exchanged their number. I said, sir, I'm going to trouble you for something. Yes, sir. Please, I will do it. I'm a you know. I'm a surgeon, I do this, and I have everyone's number, and they get connected and we call them. So this is what thing that, like I said, the first step, who is going to take that first step and build a chain, which is the strongest chain in the world, I would say, the chain that's going to save lives. So I think that today we had such a beautiful talk. And I promise you, sir, in this chain, if we get right if you can save one life, I think our session is a successful
Absolutely.
session. So that's what we are wanting to do that.
Very, very powerful. Just a question on that, Sonu, you triggered. But look, not all phone calls get answered, right? You will
Yeah,
face failure.
yeah.
How do you deal with that? They pick up your call. Would they pick up my call is but I'm sure even your calls probably have not always been fruitful. So
Yeah.
success and failure, how do you deal with it when in the context of service and doing Seva Dil Se, how do you handle these failures that would come up every now and then?
So it doesn't matter. You have to take the first step. I said I make 10 calls, five will be successful. Okay, five fail, but at least five those successful calls. I have to make those 10 calls. I won't hesitate. I know sometimes we don't get the kind of response that we need, but still it's okay. I have to try it. If I don't try, it's not going to happen. I don't want to miss a chance of someone who's there to help me. Just to by just thinking, Array, what if they don't help me? I'm going to make a call. Okay, to help me or not? But I would say shameless. I'm going to call you, boss. This is you have to do it for me. Okay, you're not going to do it, no worries. Plus, still you have to save a life. So that's what the mission is. I mean, you can't be too calculative when you are out there to save a life. You just have to speak your heart out, boss. You have to make it happen. Everyone is, I would say, like you said, everyone wants to do good. So we have to find those people who want to really good. So we have to make few calls. We have to get rejected by few, but accepted by few. So that's okay.
Yeah, this one is a question. Actually, I was bouncing off questions with my wife this morning, and she actually a very interesting question. She said, how do you raise children who can have the spirit of service like Sonu Sood? What secret formula of parenting do you think um, can help raise children who are more service minded? Who what would be some of those things which you feel would be critical, or something from your own growing up which you think has made a huge difference?
So my mom was a professor. She used to teach students all her life, day and night, whether you have money, whether you don't have and all. She was all out. You said, I need to give education to maximum people. My father used to have langar almost every week, 10 days, 15 days to feed poor people and all. So those were the days when we were knowingly, unknowingly trained to give back to the society. But when I always used to do that earlier in my school days, college days, in my acting days also. But when the pandemic hit, the scale was huge. The need was big. When I go out and help people, there are a lot of messages. My kids also get it. My boys get on their Instagram or through their social media. Please ask your dad to help us. I'm suffering from cancer. I'm suffering from liver transplant. So please convey it to the message. So my younger son, my elder son, come say, Daddy, he's a cancer patient. How can you help it? I said, okay, I'll. He follows up after 2 days. Daddy, did you speak to the person? Did you speak to the doctor? Yeah, I spoken to him. How is he doing? So I realize that what I'm doing in my life, knowingly or unknowingly, it's affecting them. They see a lot of people coming to my building, and I solve their cases, I save their lives. So they are growing up in that environment, and I wish and I pray to God that at least it has to pass to them so that they can keep this journey alive. Um, very, very important thing is, these things are not going to be taught in any college, any book, any school. No one is going to taught it. You have to experience this. My nephew and niece who live in Moga, one is 5 years, one is 7 years old. When they saw their mamu, doing all this bit, and they said, "Mamu, we are very proud of you. You are doing very good." I said, "Yeah, yeah." Next year, when they were going out, they saw some rag pickers in Punjab, in Moga, and they didn't have anything to wear. They were barefoot. They asked their dad, "Daddy, we want to buy shoes for them." And they bought shoes for them. They clicked the picture and they sent it to me. And they said, "Well, I'm so proud of you, Rehan. I'm so proud of you, Naira. Well done, well done." They felt so happy. Next year, again, they said, "Daddy, again, we want to go there. We have to find someone who's without shoes and all." Again, they bought it. So the happiness that you get out of saving people is different. My nephew, my nephew and niece who are in Nagpur, they came to me on holidays, and they were always on Instagram or on Facebook or on Filter, Snapchat, and I said, "Stop it. I'm going to give you every single day one or two cases. You have to align those cases. You have to speak to the needy people and do it." They spoke. We solved the cases. We saved like this, saved at least 10 to 12 lives. They are stars in their group now. They said, "Sir, we don't feel like going on Snapchat or Instagram. Sonu Masa, tell us some more cases. We need to help it." So I think every parent should show that practically in front of the kids. Change a life. Beta, you also have to do this, something. Spend a part of your pocket money in feeding someone. Buy something, books for someone. Give fees for someone. Buy a smartphone who is missing an online classes. So I think all these things have to be taught practically and has to be done in front of them. Then only that torch is going to get passed from the parent to the next generation. I think that's very important. If we are not able to convey it to our children, so I think we fail as parents. So I think it's very, very important to do that today and do that now.
Very, very simple, very, very profound, but so powerful, Sonu. Really, 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 really powerful. The last few questions before we wrap up. We are obviously entering the next phase of this pandemic with, the vaccines around the corner, and hopefully the cases are down. Hopefully they will continue to go down. So you've obviously started a fire which is spreading. How do you see all the initiatives that you've progressed continuing to burn even after this this pandemic? The pandemic might have been the spark, but obviously the forest is on fire. So how are you going to continue that this contagion of compassion, or the fire that you've lit of seva, is going to continue, and what's your vision in a way?
It's just the beginning, sir. It's the problems are always there. The needy patients are always there. And unemployment is always there. Education problems are always there. Only because of the corona pandemic, the whole thing's got magnified, and people were able to see it. Oh my God, Acha, so many people are need medical help and all, and people had all the time sitting idle at the home to actually sit back and see that, oh man, there are so many people who are needy ones. That's the only difference that this pandemic uh, got in front of us.
Right.
The need was always there. But we had time to see it. And I think this is the biggest lesson that this pandemic has taught. We are going to get busy in our lives. Everyone actor is going to go in front of the camera. Doctor is going to run his clinic back. School teachers are going to teach it. But the lessons that pandemic has taught us, keep the magnifying glass always in your hand to see those problems. Don't wait for the problem or a needy to come to you. You have to go to the needy and solve the problem. I think that's the biggest challenge now.
Yeah. So obviously, serving the community is one of the highest, most noble jobs, and our doctors are at the forefront of this battle, the healthcare community. Um, what's your message to the healthcare professionals who are the heroes of our society? Many of them have shared their stories through our hashtag Dhanyavad Doctor, hashtag Dhanyavad Nurse tags. But to the doctors, what is your message coming out of all the work that you've done and all the experiences during this pandemic?
So when I was going through my past my 10th, 11th, or 12th class, and there were only two professions at the time. One was an engineer, one was a doctor. Parents used to say, "We are the engineer banja or the doctor banja." Or we never. And now we have ample lot of avenues to explore. And now I realize why doctors. Now I realize why doctors are so important. They are the ones who saved so many lives. Pandemic taught they are living gods on this planet. And I think um, there's a huge amount of responsibility on their shoulders. Ki boss, the world is revolving the way it is only because of the doctors. You have to come forward. You have to come out of your comfort zone a little bit more. You were always giving. You have given a lot during the pandemic, but now that extra step has to be taken where you have to do a little bit more than what we have done all our lives. So I think this is the time, and I'm sure we are going to do that.
So, Sonu, I think we've reached the end of the session. Truly, truly inspiring session for me personally, and I'm sure for many people who have been watching this. I think the simplicity of leading by example, make the first phone call, and I think a good, great reminder that while we go back to our normal lives, the so-called normal lives, um, after after the pandemic is over, holding the magnifying glass and continuing to search for opportunities, to me is a messages that is really going to stay with me. So once again, I wanted to thank you for your time. Thank you for a really great session talking about so many diverse topics. I really wanted to again thank you for all the great work that you've done. You are an inspiration to many, and I think deserve all the accolades that you've got so far. Of course, you visit Hyderabad very frequently, so I hope you can make, a visit to one of our offices in Hyderabad. We are headquartered in Hyderabad.
I know.
So thank you once again. And any final words, Sonu, for all the community of doctors who are here, and our employees who will be watching this?
Thank you so much, Shanji, for having me. I'm really looking forward catching up with you all in Hyderabad. And a message, not the final message, I would say the first message that I want to give you today is let's make a team. Let's make a team of uh, saviors. I promise you that it'll be a mission that will make all of you very, very proud. I'm going to share the details how we can connect uh, through the email ID. I have a Sood Charity Foundation that I've just started. Illage India comes under that. Let's make one family. I'm there to learn, correct me, teach me, and I promise you that under your vision, we will bring smiles on millions of faces. I'm really looking forward connecting with all of you, every single listener, and just keep the good work going. Thank you so much for making this world look beautiful, and because of you, we are there, and I look forward connecting with millions of people. Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's been really a pleasure. Yeah.
Okay. So with that, it's an end of the session of Seva Dil Se, and truly reflected in the session today and in the words and actions of Sonu. Thank you once again. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. God bless you. Thank you.